everyone, welcome back to part 4 of the Warhammer 40,000 Astra Militarum Adeptus Mechanicus Ordinatus Dora Railway Cannon. Just rolls off the tongue, that one. Okay, so this is the last part, kind of, of this build. It is finished, but it's finished to a point. It's not 100% complete, but it's finished to the point that you get the overall idea of what I was going for, especially with the build and the colour scheme. There's loads of details and stuff to do on it, but this isn't really a painting channel. This is more about building and making your ideas come to life. So I'm going to hold the painting at where it is currently. I will go back and do it, and I will be adding bits to it. But look, enough waffling. Let's check out what I got on with. Right, you've got me. I'm just in the process of finishing up the last bit of red on the last part. And then once I've once I've got that done, I can. What I might think of doing, I'm going to get a bit of a dusting in some of the recesses off with black with the airbrush. Then we'll seal it with the varnish, and then we'll do the weathering with the oil washes. I've also started on the main cannon. That's had a couple of, it was sprayed black, and it's had a couple of dry brushes of silver, so a dark silver and then a lighter silver done there. And then I'm going to start painting the detail around here, the skull, pick this out in the white. I'm probably going to go very traditional with the Games Workshop colour scheme on this thing, but I'm not yet, so we'll see. But yeah, so there you go. Crack on with this bit, and then, as I say, airbrush, and then seal, and then we'll come back and we'll be back at the weathering stage. Oh well, yeah, I've got all the beige done now as well, so that's cool. Although I could do with another paint in there. That could be done with the bone being done on that. But let's get the red done, and I might go back. I'll go back and do the bone. Cool. Let's get on. So here I am, chonking away on the weathering on the big gun, and I thought, actually, I better start recording at some point and show you what I'm up to. So this is what I'm working on at the moment, but I was taking this bit I haven't started on yet. So this has had a brief pass with an airbrush, just gone in there with some darker red, just to give it a bit of depth and a bit of texture to the overall model. Just just give us a bit, bit richer in colour and a bit, bit of depth in there. And then what I do, and you may have seen, guys, this on the previous build with the Necromunda stuff, is going with my oil washes. So at the moment I'm just using a black oil wash on this bad boy, getting it all nicely washed down. This needs to be a lot darker, because obviously the gun's going to go in here, so that's the bit where all the oil and scourge and scuzz and nastiness would build up inside. So there's the back there as well. So yeah, just building up some depth with the oil washes. Now what I do, I'll show you. There we go, down on the front there is being built up as well, so it's coming on quite nicely. What I'll do, I'll put that one down. I'll quickly show you what I do. For those who've not seen me do this before, we'll show you what we do on this one. So I've got some standard oil paints, just some Winsor & Newton lamp black there. I've got some brushes to apply the wash. These are knackered horrible old brushes that I use, so don't worry about that. I've got a bit of sponge for sponging off of the excess, and then what I do to thin it all down, I've got some cotton buds as well for getting in some of the finer details. And what I'll actually water it all down with is lighter fluid. Now, there's several couple of reasons I use lighter fluid. First reason is, if I run out of this at 12 o'clock at night, I can go to my local shop and buy some. That's the first reason. Heavily accessible, especially during lockdown, it was really accessible. The second reason is white spirit stinks. And I'm usually working on this quite late into the evening. So, white spirit absolutely stinks. Lighter fluid, nowhere near as bad. And the odourless stuff doesn't work with these oil paints I've found. So white spirit. Not white. Lighter fluid. Anyway, so what we do, I've got a little pot here. I just put in a little bit of oil paint, the tiniest bit. Oh, and by the way, you might want to wear gloves because I look like I've been down a pit. So, and these are clean. Right, so light fluid in there. Manky old brush. Give it a good old mix to water it down a bit. Like so. You want to kind of, not consistent of milk, a little bit thicker than milk, but, you know, like a thin cream. How about that? Right, get your model. Bosh it all in. Really work it in. You want to really, really, really try and get in all the nooks and crannies. If you don't, just go in with a smaller brush and work that in to all the nooks and crannies, like so. Let's give it a bit more. Let's have a go. Now you know how your brushes get knackered because you've really got to work this in. I mean, you can do this multiple times as well. You don't have to do this on the first pass. And you can do it a few times. But really give it a good old working in like so. And get yourself a bit of sponge. This is an old bit. And then just give it a wipe. Wipe off all the excess. You can blend it down, bring it down. Like so. Get stuck in there. And then what you can do, so that's most of the excess off. Then what you can do is throw that bit of sponge over there. Just put that there. Cotton bud. Get some light fluid on there. And this is where you can really work it in. So you just run it in there. Like so. We can't probably, you can see that? There you go. Run it in there. Other side of the cotton bud. Dry it all off. And there you go. You can see it's picking up there, but leaving a nice black in all the recesses. It really does look like a build-up of oil and grease and, you know, thousands of years of staining. Like so. Yeah, and you can be as heavy with this or as light as you want. You know, just go in there and remove that. And then once it all dries off, you could have a look at it and see if you want to work more in. You might want to lighten it in places or darken it in other places. But that's basically how I do it, guys. That is how that's done. Now, some of you out there in internet land might be thinking, this guy's lost the plot. He's weathering now. Why is he weathering now? He hasn't got any detail on this thing. And you'd be absolutely right. I've got no detail on this whatsoever. And there's a good reason for that. And that reason is, I'm going to go to get this ready and get this kind of finished and on the table, as they say up north. I need to do this. I just need to look at this overall. There we go. That's that. Like so. And then I'll let that dry off, work on another panel whilst that's drying. And then go back, and then you can work it with the light fluid, adding more build up of dirt, taking it off, and you just build it up basically over time. So yeah, as I was saying, no detail, straight to weathering. Why have I done that? This is a huge model, guys. This is massive. I mean, it's about 2 foot long. If I was to go in and paint every single individual detail, I will be here for months doing this. And quite frankly, at my time of life, my brain won't let me do that anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm working the whole thing. I'm going to weather the whole thing and work it as a whole. As one big, we're going to use it as one big model. The cannon is going to have a lot of detail on it because that's kind of like the focal point. Almost like if it was a miniature, it would be the face of the build. Work it all in, get it all up to a certain level, all weathered and up to a certain level, plus the cannon, and then I will call that table finished. Okay, ready for the tabletop. From a distance it'll look amazing. Then at some point I can go back in and I can paint some of these skulls and some of these details. and then do a little bit of weathering then, and it's something to work on, you know, as and when. But I need to get this done. We're already in part 4. I don't want this to go on to part 5, really, if I can help it. I've got much more exciting projects to do after that. So that's why I'm doing it that way, guys. So I need to get cracked on. See you in a bit. Okay, here we go. This is one dirty boy. So weathering has all been applied now. Well, the dirtying down has been applied to the whole model. The little, even down there, the little survey bay, even the little walkways inside are all done. That's going in there. So that's all done as well. The pipe work inside, that's all done. I'm not sure you guys have seen the details inside. Have you seen the details inside? Not sure, but there you go. So the pipes are all done. That's all lovely jubbly. That's all done. So next stage now is to paint anything that's not red or cream grey. So these things, the wheels underneath here, any sort of consoles and scanning equipment, the big turbines underneath, they all need to be painted grey. So that's next on the that's the next job to do. So getting there. Still quite a long way to go, but like I say, I want to get this just to a stage where, you know, yeah, I can kind of say it's done, not finished, but done. And then I can kind of draw a line on it and move on to the next project. It's going to be good, guys. Please subscribe. It's going to be good. Whilst I've got you here, let's bring in the cannon. Let's put that down there, and then we'll sort of go, whoop. There we go. Sorry about the shadows. So the cannon's underway as well. So all the silver's done, all the gold's done and shaded up nicely. I've got to highlight the skull back to white, and then the barrel here. Now the barrel's going to get airbrushed. It's going to have like the sort of heat burn going from the blue all the way back to the red on there, and then this middle section here, that's going under the airbrush to give a nice glow to that. So yeah, doing that as well, and then the gun will sit. I know it doesn't sit here exactly, it sits underneath. The gun sits like that, but I want the gun's going to be cleaner than the carriage, because I think that's what they'd probably pay more attention to in the narrative sense of the word. So it's a long way to go. Let's get cracking on. Right, here we are doing, I don't need these, doing the grey on everything that needed to be grey. So these upright bits, wheels, consoles, various gubbins, and the engines at the back here. These are pretty much done. I'm now going to just a little bit in there needs doing. And there we go. Blend that all out a bit. Tra-la-la-la-la. That's all that lot done. Next up, on all the grey, I'll be chucking some Army Painter dark tone all over the grey bits, and then I'm actually going to call that done for this part of the video, for this section of the build. I'll explain that in a bit, I guess. Yes, in a bit, coming right now. There we are, all done. Just about get it in shot. So it's painted to yeah, that'll do, standard. Loads to do on it still, but I'm calling it done for the purposes of this video. So let's have a bit of a go in. So there you go, that's all there, all nicely weathered with the oil washes. It's had a coat of varnish, because if you don't varnish it, the oil washes don't fully dry, so they'll leach off onto your hands. There we go. Command pulpit at the top there, and then there's the big cannon, that I was particularly pleased with. A little bit of airbrush action there on the plasma coils and on the heat blooming on the end there. And then There we go, bit of a close up on the skull. So I mean, I've still got some wires and cables and some neatening up to do around with this thing. But as I say, for the purposes of this video, we're calling it done. Okay, and with that, we're done. All done and dusted. As I say, to a point. Yeah, really pleased with the way this thing's turned out. Obviously, yeah, I've got to go back in. I've got so many more details to do. The computer screens need doing. Adeptus Mechanicus Army needs doing. The Quillers need doing. It's drooped a little bit at the back here. I'm not sure what says it, but I have got a fix for that, so I will do that as well at some point. But apart from that, you know, I could put this on a table and I'd be quite pleased with it. And I am. I'm incredibly pleased with it. It was an itch I needed scratching, and I think I've scratched it. So I hope you do too. I hope you've enjoyed this 4-parter. I didn't want to make it go to 5 parts. I think 4 is just right. I think any more than that, you know, I think you guys would probably lose interest in it, and I probably would do as well. So that's it, guys. So new product slated. If you follow me on the socials, you may know what's coming up. If you don't, there's some boxes behind me. There might be a clue as to what I'll be doing. So if you want to subscribe to find out what's going on, please do so. It also helps out the channel in a massive way. You know, we're not far off 350 subscribers, which is excellent stuff. That would be great. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's all free. It's a couple of seconds for you to click that like button and click that thumbs up as well. I think that's it, guys. Now, I will check you guys out soon. We'll be back next week with part 1 of a new project even. And hopefully I'll be doing some more of the on the bench videos as well, in between the main builds. Hopefully you like that one of me smashing through that box of horrible old tat. Anyway, guys, you take care, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers. Take it easy.